Hi, my name is Carolyn Johnson, and I'm the chef at 80th Row in Concord, Massachusetts. And today we're going to be making a blue cheese custard with roasted pears. To start out, to make the custard, we start with 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm just going to pour that right into the bowl of our mixer. You can absolutely make this with a whisk by hand, but if you have a mixer, it makes life way easier. The next ingredient is creme fraiche, which is similar to a sour cream, but you definitely cannot substitute sour cream. Creme fraiche is very stable. You can cook it, whereas sour cream you cannot. But it has that same rich, tangy texture. Just going to add a little bit of depth to the flavor of our custard. The next ingredient is blue cheese, the feature product. I'm using Great Hill blue cheese, which is from Marion, Massachusetts. It's a really creamy, beautiful local blue cheese. So we just add that right in as well. So what we want to do is just homogenize all these ingredients. So we're going to mix them together. Add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. The cheese is definitely salty, so you don't need to add too much additional salt. The next ingredient is eggs. It's 5 eggs. And you want to just lightly beat those with a fork just to break up the yolks and make it easier to mix into the rest of the custard base. So as I look in the mixer, I can see that all our ingredients are combined. So I'm just going to slowly add the eggs in. And again, all we're looking to do is really just combine them until the mixture is nice and smooth. So our last ingredient for the custard is just a few minced chives. Adds a nice herbal, slightly oniony flavor. Complement everything else. All right, we are ready to fill our custard molds. I have some little bowls I'm using. You can use ramekins, even disposable foil cups if you have them. So we're just going to distribute the custard evenly. This will fill 8 4-ounce bowls. All right. So once the custard has been distributed amongst the cups, we have an additional 1/2 cup of blue cheese, and you just want to sprinkle that into the custards. That way you'll have a really nice chunk of oozy blue cheese when you cut into the finished custard. And what we want to do is have some water that's just almost boiling. You pour that halfway up the sides of your dishes. That's going to help protect the custard so they cook really gently in the oven. With all those eggs in there, you want to make sure it cooks slowly. So once your custards are nestled into their water bath, we're just going to cover it lightly with foil. You want to let the steam be able to escape, but have some protection for your custards. They go in a 325-degree oven for about ½ an hour, and you want to rotate them halfway through just to ensure even cooking of the custards. All right, we are going to pan roast some pears to serve with our blue cheese custard. I'm using Bosc pears. I find they work very well because they're a fairly firm pear, so they really hold up in the cooking process. But you can use whatever your favorite kind of pear is, of course. So we want to peel the pears for this process. And we're just going to cut them into wedges. So we're going to use 2 pears for our 8 custards, so everyone will have 2 pieces of pear. I like to use a melon baller to take the seeds out of the pears. It's a really quick and easy way and makes for a beautiful finished product. So I'm just going to cut each half into 4 wedges. So we're going to use a couple tablespoons of butter. Just going to let that melt. So we add our pear wedges right into the pan. Want to toss them around in the butter, get them evenly coated. Season with salt and pepper. Again, toss it around to distribute all that seasoning. I'm just going to add a couple of juniper berries. Crush them lightly in your fingers. That helps to release all of their wonderful aromatic nature. And then we're going to add a couple of bay leaves. I always like to use fresh bay leaves, but if you have dried at home, that will work as well. So try to get the pears to sit flat in the pan if you have room. You really want to make sure all the sides of the pears get really nice and brown. So while your custards are baking in the oven, start your pears. Everything will end up being done pretty close to the same time. All right, so our pears are caramelizing nicely. Flip them over in the pan. And now we're about halfway through the cooking process. I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar. It's going to help the caramelization finish up and just add a nice sweetness to the pears. Really complements everything in the custard nicely. Really just a little sprinkle of sugar is plenty. And we'll just let the pears go for another 5 minutes or so until they're caramelized on the other side. So now our custards are cooked and our pears are cooked. We're ready to combine. I really like to serve this custard warm, though it is delicious cold. And one of the great things is that it's really easy to make ahead. So if you're having a dinner party and want something that you can make the day before, these custards will be great. Chill them down in the refrigerator overnight, and then just pop them in a 300 or 350 degree oven for a few minutes before you serve them, just to warm them up just a little bit. So to serve, on each custard, you want to just take 2 of your beautifully caramelized pear wedges, just tuck them right on top, and there you go, beautiful appetizer.